Well, the Gauteng Education Department has begun placing learners for the 2019 academic year. The department says all parents of grade 1 and 8 pupils who applied online will receive their offers via SMS. Joining us now for a chat on this is Gauteng Education spokesperson Steve Mabona. Steve, thank you for joining us. Well, parents are expecting that SMS, but my question to you is what happens if they don't have access to their phones?
Look, we have already sent the SMSs on Friday to all the parents. Those that have not received SMSs, they can still go and log on into the system. Go to www.gdeadmissions.gov.za. They access their applications there. It will require their logon details. If they might have forgotten their details, they then need to call the call center. It's 0800 000 789. 0800 000 789. They will assist them, with those credentials because you need the logon details to access. So those that don't have means, they can visit our district offices. They will assist them there to access their offers. So offers are there. We know that some of the schools were slow in approving those offers, but and that dictated that the status in the system would be saying pending district. So if the status says pending district, it means the school has not approved your offer. So you just need to be patient, probably keep on checking, and you will then receive an offer.
So God forbid you do lose your phone and the time lapses. What happens next? How can that be corrected?
No, the SMS actually is not even giving you an offer. The SMS was alerting you that, look, log on into the system so that you can access your offer. Hence, we are saying if you access the system and you have your offer, you have only must confirm within 7 working days to say you accept the offer, you decline the offer. But then if the status is pending, don't even start counting days because the offer is not there. Until such time that there's an offer in the system where you will be in a position to click, whether you accept or you decline the offer, then you will be starting, to count the days.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this interview. A lot of the parents are wondering, you've heard of the Overval incident. What would happen if an English student is placed in an Afrikaans school? How are you going to make sure incidents such as that doesn't happen?
Look, the Overval debacle, assisted us to work closer, make sure that we consult more. Because one of the elements that was actually highlighted during that case was that we did not consult, and we did not give ample time in terms of your time frame between ourselves and the school. So districts have been working very hard to make sure that they interact with the schools. More so when they detect in the system that the numbers of English learners that might have applied in the Afrikaans schools, it dictates that they need to interact because the department will say to the school, we have numbers that dictate that you need to consider changing the policy, that of your language policy, opt for, parallel medium. Parallel medium means that you will still have Afrikaans and you will also introduce English classes. And you will be in a position to say the classes that you introduce, what is it that you need a department to assist you with in terms of your logistics, in terms of if you need additional budget, teachers that must be employed. So you need to interact, very closely. So that's what we've been doing. Hence, we've delayed the issuing of these SMSs because we were supposed to do this process in July, on the 18th. But we felt that let's move it to August so that we have ample time to verify and check all the lists because the lists are generated at the schools, sent to the district. District must then verify, make sure that, there's no, bypassing, there's confirmation of policy. We adhere to policy, to the latter, so that when you give back the list to the schools, then the schools must be in a position to approve. So we know that some of the schools were, in one African's newspaper, that they were claiming that we changed the list. I mean, we are saying there's no list that was changed. Schools need to consider what they have and approve. Whether they have English-speaking classes in their system, we need then to check how many of those that have applied there. If they make a classroom, why can't we then engage to say, can we really have a classroom, English classroom, and change the policy so that we can then gradually accommodate these parents? Because our argument is very clear. There's nowhere in this country where there's an area where you have Afrikaans-speaking people residing by themselves only. One way or the other, you will have a parent that is very close to that school, or parents that are very close to the school that is Afrikaans school. So one way or the other, those schools must be accessed. And their numbers are dwindling. When you look at their numbers, they are dwindling. So it necessitates that there must be change one way or the other.
So speak to those parents who are overly concerned about the process of placement. Some parents don't feel comfortable with their children going to certain schools, and if they happen to be placed in a certain school that they don't like, speak to us about the fact that their rights, they feel their rights are violated.
Look, we were aware that some parents felt that, look, they need to access more schools. Then we said a parent can apply to 5 different schools. So that broadened the scope to say you can apply to 5 schools. So it means that your choice is broadened. I mean, out of the 5 schools, if you receive 3 offers, out of the 3, probably there must be 1 school that you would like. I mean, I was interacting with one parent who called me to say, very ecstatic, happy, say, Steve, I actually received 4 offers out of the 5 schools that I've applied to. So now I must choose. But then some parents, when you give them too much scope to choose, then they will take time before they make that decision of choosing. So we are saying to parents, remember you have 7 working days to accept that offer or decline. If you don't, we will assume that you don't need that space. And there's parents that are waiting in line, and we need to consider those parents. Because remember, when a school approve or give you an offer, they don't have access of the other schools. So they don't know that the other school gave you an offer as well. So hence we are saying parents cannot now waste time without acceding to the call of accepting or declining, because we need to assist other parents who are in the queue. You might find that a school has a capacity of 300. The parent who is number 3 or 1 is waiting for that space, and only to find that probably the offer that has been given to you, you're not going to take the offer because you might have had other offers that you have received. So probably you will take another offer. So the parents who's 3 or 1 will then benefit, because then that offer will be available. We're just going to move her up, and they say, here is an offer that you can get. So it's important that parents need to, utilize the 7 working days to accept or decline the offer.
Okay, before we let you go, speak to us about other factors that influence placement, such as location, distance, and your place of employment.
Look, we've been encouraging parents to, when they apply them, to use their home address or their work address. So the offers will be as per what they have requested. And the 5-kilometer radius, yes, because some parents will call and say, but mine is just 6-kilometer radius. It's close to 5, but it's not 5. So they just need to bear in mind that the Constitutional Court said Department of Education must be in charge of admissions. In that sense, we are saying the 5-kilometer radius, it might be in the next year or so, we're going to have to do away with, we've done with, the consultation, because they said we must consult all the schools in terms of our feeder zones. What is it that will be in our feeder zone? Look at all other elements, and including, your kilometers. Whether we're still going to stick to 5, we have seen that, look, we might not. We still need to take a decision whether it's 30 or 35, so that we then broaden the scope of parents. They can take, learners or their children where they want to, or where they want to access the schools. So we have actually publicized, a paper to say, gone are the days where you're going to use your race, language, religion, ethnicity. It's a form of saying you admit, learners. So that we need to say to parents, they must comment, make the necessary comments into the paper to say we agree with the department, so that we can then change the admission policy. Those regulations must change to say, if you want to access a school, if they say probably it's a Christian school, but then as a learner, if you feel that at some point you don't want to be part of the praying session or whatever, any activity that will be religion, driven, you can't be compelled to do that. So that's what we are saying. But if you opt to go to a school where you know that they are a certain religion, it will be your choice, but you can't be compelled to do things that they do at school.
All right, Steve, we've got to leave it here.